There it is. We've got show audio. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Pop-Up. Very much live and coming in hot from the Black Media Matters studio in downtown Seattle. I'm your host, the Big O. You know, we're a few minutes behind today, but it is the beauty of like doing our own show in our own studio on our own time. Sorry to keep you waiting. You know what I'm saying? We was waiting for a chicken delivery over here. so we can get our food right, everything else. We got a fantastic show on tap for you today. Man, you know, we're bringing a whole lot of Portland love, Rip City up in here to Rose City. We got my man Juma Blaq. We also have Justin Fogarty. They're both representing Talk a Mile. But Juma Blaq, my guy, my good friend, has also been a producer for Converge Media for the last few years. A lot of the stuff that you guys have seen on screen coming out of Portland, he is the one that shot and produced it, and we're actually going to play something here later on today or tonight, so very excited for that. Before we get into it, though, you think I was joking. I was chasing that chicken truck. I got the sweat beads to prove it. Before we get going tonight, though, got to give a big shout-out to our sponsor, We Rise Wines. We Rise Wine, they're located right across the street from the Moore Theater on 2nd Avenue. This is a Black woman-owned wine bar and wine brand, and it is on and cracking. You know what I'm saying? We encourage everybody to go over there, check them out, and join the club. They got this wine club. You sign up, they send you the wine. So I'm talking to all the guys out there, people in that kind of situation. It's a good thing. It makes you seem like you got some coof. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not uncouth. You sign up for the wine club. Your peoples come over. You're like, oh, yeah, this is my latest delivery from We Rise. And got a little culture to you. So WeRiseWines.com. Go ahead and check them out. Also, a big shout out to Acts on Stage. Acts on Stage with their production, Black Man Goes to Therapy. That's what I'm talking about. Black Man Goes to Therapy. May 21st to May 31st out there at Acts on Stage. Great production, actsonstage.com. And on that note of Black Man Goes to Therapy, let's get it wide over here as I welcome my good friend Juma Blaq to the Black Media Matters studios. How are you, Juma?
What's up with it, man? I appreciate you having me tonight. Super dope opportunity. Thank you.
I'm happy that you're here. We're gonna have to rearrange these tables or something, but it's all good. You ain't got to peek around. We'll figure it out. This wasn't on the list of our things here on our crispy sheet of paper of all the things we're talking about tonight. But Acts on Stage, they have this play, Black Man Goes to Therapy, and it's really about an experience of the therapist, and also, what. Trying to get the stigma away from Black men, and particularly going to therapy. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course June is Black Man Mental Health Awareness Month. All that being said, what are your thoughts on therapy?
My thoughts on therapy is I believe that now that I'm older, that we do need, our culture in general has always kind of strayed away from it. It was more so what happens in this house stays in this house. You know what I mean? And a lot of times as Black men, we bury what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? We carry it on our shoulders, we bury it, and it comes out in so many different ways that is very detrimental to ourselves personally. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, now where I'm at, I do believe that therapy will help and does help. And as a Black man, we do need to start going to therapy and talking about just our childhood traumas and in ways that we can figure out how we can get past those things.
Have you ever been to therapy?
I have not. So
Yeah, I mean, me neither. You know, so there also can't be no stigma against people who haven't been to therapy.
Right.
Be like, what's wrong with you? You ain't been to therapy? What's wrong? They'd be like, well, life's cool.
Right. But I haven't been to therapy, but I have over the years started to open up and just talk about my personal issues and personal things and personal childhood traumas just in conversation with just people. You know, and that's helped me a lot.
I think sometimes too, some things are therapeutic. I'm not saying it replaces therapy,
Right.
But I love radio. That was my first love. This and that. I know. I'm trying here on this TV thing. Right. Hey, look, there's Eric behind me. Hey, what's up, bro? But me being in radio, like this is work. Believe me, I'm sweating underneath the lights. But when I'm at radio, you know what I'm saying? You're a career in radio too.
Right.
Man, everything disappears. All my troubles, all my whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I think sometimes doing things that get us in that state of mind can be therapeutic.
100%. And so for me, radio was therapy for me. I do music too, you know what I'm saying? So I put a lot of my back history inside of my songs, you know what I mean? And that helps me a lot. Long as I got to talk to some people, you know what I'm saying, to tell some stories. Because some stories can't be told. But some stories can't be told, you know what I'm saying? But
some stories, the statutes of limitations has not expired yet. So we have to use our pseudonym with the pen, right?
Right. But no, I do write a lot of my childhood traumas incorporate it into my music.
All right, good stuff. And, well, before we move on, what are you rapping at? As Juma Blaq?
Yes, it is. So honestly, right now I am working on my next album. It's my 6th studio album. It's called Still Rapping After 40, and dropping a whole lot of jewels in my on that album, as far as just you know what I'm saying, spiritual jewels, family. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important to me. Family, the power of the dollar, entrepreneurship, business owner, just things like that.
You're over 40?
41, man. I'm 41, man. Just turned 41, March 22nd. Let's go.
All right. So good stuff. We're going to get into it in our headlines here. First, it's number A3, Mr. Director. Yeah, we're talking about the Seattle Seahawks, our world champion Seattle Seahawks and youth mental health. And actually, this is what brought you here to Seattle today from Portland, you and Justin Fogarty. Man, tell us about the event today.
The event was super dope. Talk Mal came up to Seattle. This is their first time having the program up here, partnered with city officials, not Portland, but Seattle Fire, Seattle PD, as well as the Seattle Seahawks. And what it is the city officials, they group up with kids, or the youth, I don't want to say kids, but the youth, and they walk a mile and they talk while they're walking. And they just talk about a number of different things, but they do have cue cards that kind of guide that conversation.
So the youth, city officials, and invested community members went for a walk today.
Went for a walk together.
And some Seahawks. Wow.
And some Seahawks. And the city officials actually listened to what the youth had to say.
Hold up. Let's stop right. What? Our city officials listened.
They listened.
Man, you Portland guys need to come up here more often. Like, what's going on?
Justin is doing amazing things, man. Justin and Erica, yes.
Okay. Well, man, that's good stuff, man. Yeah. I'm a man. You see, you stopped me dead in my tracks. You're like, what? The city officials? I think it's because you're from out of town.
It could be.
You know, maybe that's just joking with you though. We've got we got some really dope people here in city government. You know what I'm saying? And the best thing is, you're not supposed to agree with everybody on there, man. That was the case, man. I don't agree with nobody in my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna agree with somebody who's elected or whatever? But the ability to actually listen with sincerity, I think that's where a lot of things start at. And we do have a lot of great listening ears in this city. Sometimes they take what they hear and they they act on it in their own way, but they definitely do have a willingness here to listen, and especially the young people, and especially what's going on right now in our city with young people around issues of gun violence and public safety and everything else. We found that the city officials here have an even higher ability to want to understand what's on young people's minds.
Right. And it was a young lady. She had to have been about maybe 17, 18. She spoke before we started the walk, and she was just saying how back in 2020, she was marching and leading walks herself. You know what I mean? And so, like, to be able to be young and then to be able to be in that space, understanding how to speak to city officials, understanding that language and that lingo, and how to get things done at an early age and build relationships, because those are the youth is going to be who's running the city in the next 20 years, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's a dope concept.
All right, that's good stuff. And we're going to learn a lot more about Talk a Mile later on in the show. We've got Justin Fogarty in the building. We chatted a little bit before the show started, and was telling me about the genesis of Talk a Mile. And so it's come more than a mile
right.
over the years. It's covered a lot of distance, even
right.
between Portland and Seattle. All right, so the way this goes is we got a few different headlines here. Okay.
Got you.
All right. And first one is from, let's see here. This is national headlines. Oh, this is our president. It looks like here is the president's June 6th slush fund. Right?
The slush fund?
We got that. All right. Here we go. There's an article. Oh, man. There's an article from News One by Joe Girardo, and it highlights a lawsuit that was now filed by Capitol Police officers and Metropolitan Police Department officers seeking to block the Trump administration's newly established $1.7 billion with a B Anti-Weaponization Fund. The officers described the fund as an illegal taxpayer-funded slush fund intended to reward and finance January 6 insurrectionists and paramilitary groups. The officers, who have faced ongoing harassment and death threats for speaking out about the Capitol riot, argue that allowing the fund to exist legitimizes political violence, finances unaccountable militias, and poses a direct threat to personal safety. Juma Blaq, your thoughts on the $1.8 billion slush fund?
Anything in the billions going towards the military lets me know everything.
Well, yeah,
that's detrimental to everything we got going
so
on.
These guys, so it's like reparations. You know, like how a lot of people are against reparations. They're like, man, don't give them black folks no reparations.
Right.
What President Trump is saying is that these people, the January 6th insurrectionists, were harmed, and this $1.8 billion is here to repair harm. That's reparations, like in real time.
That's
right?
reparations in
And
real
so hold on, let me go here. It says Anti-Weaponization Fund. I think that black people, we just need to rephrase weaponization to something else, because Anti-Weaponization Fund doesn't even sound like reparations. But clearly, this $1.8 billion to the J6 insurrectionists is like, I don't know. It seems like reparations to me.
Seems like reparations to me as well. Like. Yeah, that's. There's no other way to cut that. You know what I mean? Down the middle.
Any thoughts over there, Mr. Director? I see you got a mic plugged in today.
Well, I unplugged it, but I'll tell you that I unplugged it for this reason here. Yeah, no, I have nothing to say. Just give us free.
Yeah, give us us free. Yeah. So we would like some reparations over here too. All right. Let's see here. Oh, wow. This is coming from Portland.
Portland, let's go.
Yeah, let's see here. This is number A. Oh, there he is. The director, he's on it tonight. Let's see. We got A5 up here. It says in an article in the Oregonian. You know the Oregonian. You read the Oregonian?
I do not read the Oregonian.
Okay, yep, no problem.
Yeah, I do not.
Justin reads the Oregonian. All right, in an article in the Oregonian, Shane Dixon Kavanaugh detailed a recent proposal by Council Vice President Olivia Clark to redirect $10 million from the city's nascent police oversight system to prevent staffing and services cuts within the police and fire department. The targeted funds belong to the Community Board for Police Accountability, a voter-approved oversight body that's still slowly ramping up its operations, leaving millions unspent. Clark argued that the city should immediately deploy these idle resources to address critical public safety shortages, unacceptable 911 response times, rather than let them sit in a bank account until they automatically roll back into the general fund next year. However, the controversial proposal faces a contentious path forward at City Hall as it requires a majority vote of the 12-member City Council and is expected to draw strong opposition. So basically, my understanding here is that the police oversight board there in Portland, they got 10 bread in the bank. You know what I'm saying? They haven't spent. And this is the City Council president. This is the City Council vice president is like, let's take this from oversight, the police watchdog, and let's give it to the police, fire, and 911.
So what's happening is two things happening there. One thing is that police oversight group isn't fully band together yet. It's still in the process of becoming an oversight group. I'm actually the chair of the FIT COG, and the FIT is the Focus Intervention Team. The COG is Community Oversight Group, and we're the closest thing to that oversight group because we actually work directly with that team, the FIT, and we come up with strategies to address gun violence, not just in the BIPOC community, not just within our community, but also in the houseless community as well. And so what's happening is we don't have a lot of officers, right? We have about 736, 38 officers in Portland, close to a million people in Portland. And so we're very understaffed. And that money, yes, it can be allocated to other groups, but what groups are they really trying to allocate that money to? Are they trying to allocate that money to CBOs that's actually doing the work in the communities that's being harmed, or are they trying to allocate those funds to more streetlights? You know what I mean? Because a lot of safety in Portland means we need more streetlights on this corner, but some of those corners aren't in areas where they're experiencing gun violence or any other type of violence in those neighborhoods.
How is Portland, man? Is Portland funky right now? What's happening?
Portland is always gonna be Portland. You know what I mean?
Portland is Portland.
Portland gonna be Portland, man. Well, honestly, back in the day, you would know where that gun violence would be. So when we say in our communities, that gun violence would be in certain spots. Right now, because of gentrification, you know what I'm saying, you can wind up, it's happening randomly in a bunch of different spots.
It's the same thing here.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Seattle. Like, you know, when I was growing up, a lot of stuff was isolated to specific neighborhoods, turf, and everything else, and gentrification, displacement, a lot of other stuff. That what they said what we experience here is group violence, and so it's a bunch of cliques made up of people who live all over, but they just all hang together, and they're usually, you know what I'm saying, and they're committing violent acts, and so it's not linked to a specific neighborhood, it's not linked to, you know, a specific school, it's not linked to a specific, it's just these cliques, and then sometimes people in the clique fall out and they join the other clique, and then so it's the same thing in Portland, huh?
Yeah, same thing in Portland, but then a lot of times right now is like you're saying, the group thing is you got the 60s, you got the failings, you got the unthinks all kind of living right next to each other, and sometimes it's like, well, everything got to be cool for right now, but then if something pop off, you know what I mean? It's everybody's right there in that same space. It's wild in Portland, man.
Well, you've confirmed that it's wild. Is it still weird? Is Portland still weird?
Portland is still weird. It's always gonna be weird because it's wild to a certain extent, but it's weirder.
It's more weird. Portland is actually more weird than wild.
Yes. It's more weird than wild. 2 W's. WW, we'll figure out it's going to be F or E. All right. You know what? We're going to jump over a
few of these headlines here because we got onto a late start. He says, "Man, it's always gonna be weird. Family.
Always, man.
Here's something that's a little weird though. We're gonna go here. We're gonna jump to A7. Eric. Here's something that's a little weird that we saw here last night in Seattle, and apparently this is something that's taking over different ballparks, or at least ours. Oh, it's up. Okay. Let's see here, and we'll play a video here in a second. But there's something that's going on. It's called Tarps Off movement, and it's coming to Major League Baseball. And last night, Mariners fans were fully locked in, and what started as a viral stunt in St. Louis days ago has turned into a nationwide phenomenon where guys just take off their shirt and they're have you seen this?
I have not seen it.
No, they take off the shirt, they're jumping up, run your head like a helicopter. Look, there's something up there. It's on the screen. Yeah, it's on the screen right there. And so our guy, Mark tells you is an influencer at Converge Media. He was at the game, and we got a clip of his experience there.
Why are people shirtless at a Mariner game? What the hell?
So as you can see, Portland's not the only place that can get a little weird.
Right.
We can do that here. I could really see that happening at a Timbers game, though.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I could see that that's Timbers all the way.
That's Timbers.
That's Timbers
But
all the way.
it would have to be something extra to make it like Portland. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, like a mud bath up there or something.
or throwing some voodoo donuts on the
That's
on the field.
what I was about to say.
Yeah.
One thing. Look, we're going to take a quick break. I think we're in the groove of things right now. And, man, I want to talk about your work down there in Portland. And also, we want to give our brothers, Mikey, Vegas, everybody down there at the Trap Kitchen, their flowers on their grand opening.
Yes, sir.
You're watching the pop-up.
What's up, Seattle? It's your boy Cuddy here, tapping in just to let you know that no matter where the place to be, King County Metro will get you to where you need. It could be a ride to the airport, whether you're taking off or touching down, King County Metro, or a game. So save yourself time with traffic and get into places like Westlake Center, Pike Place Market, or even the waterfront. Rather by light rail or bus, choose King County Metro. It's the only way to go.
Now's your chance to join the Days to Come Reading Challenge to ignite the civic imagination needed for racial repair in Washington state. Read, discuss, and take action until Juneteenth to bring Dr. King's vision of a truly just society to life. Visit saarcpnw.org for more information.
Yeah, that's my homegirl right there, Trey Holiday. You know what I'm saying? One of them Emmys over here. That's Treyana. So, you know, we won an Emmy last year for her show, The Day with Trey.
Dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, Trey Holiday, a big deal, man.
That's lit. Super lit. Big shout out to Trey Holiday.
Yeah, no, it's all good. All right. So, keeping it weird, keeping
Yes.
it wild, and keeping it Portland.
Keeping
What
it P.
I'm saying, keeping it P.
Keeping it P.
Keeping it P up in here, man. We know that you've been very committed to youth and the work with youth and with Walk a Mile. Talk a Mile. Yeah, so walk it out. Talk a mile.
Right.
We know that because of the title of your album, Rapping Over 40, After 40, that, you know what I'm saying, you're making your music and everything else. A lot of people might not know, though, is that you're also an exceptional producer. And you shoot an awful lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, down there in Portland. And through your lens, you've been able to give people across the entire Pacific Northwest a glimpse of Portland life, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so, man, you actually sent us a lot of stories But one that we want to focus on here today is the Trap Kitchen grand opening. Before we get into it, man, tell us about that and tell us about the Trap Kitchen.
Man, Trap Kitchen has come a long way, man. 16 years in the making. Started off in their grandmother's house, making plates, upgraded to a food truck, upgraded to the Roseland Theater, and then from there, now they just opened their brick and mortar down on the east. It's called the East Trap Kitchen. Super dope environment, upscale environment. You can't go in there and get no fried foods. You go in there, you sit down, you get to hang with the family, you get to experience dopeness. Like I said, it's Black owned. Big shout out to Mikey Vegas. Big shout out to Spank, doing their thing, like 100%. And then just me being able to step in there and highlight everything that was going on in there, man. Like the artwork and just the artwork alone, you know what I'm saying, stands out and makes it something totally different than what you would normally think it would be when you hear Trap Kitchen. You know what I mean? Like it's very elegant, very upscale.
Sounds like the trap ain't in the trap no more.
Man, the goal is to get out the trap, right?
Hey, there it is. I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah,
The goal is to ultimately get out the trap. I didn't know that they was after it that long, man. 16 years.
16 years, man, making it happen. Yeah, building relationships with the community. Like you said, I've covered a lot of stories with Trap Kitchen. That goes from giving away Christmas trees. That goes from feeding the community. Just everything, you know what I'm saying, that's been going on. Even Mikey Vegas, his album release party, you know what I mean? Just covering all the movements or all the moves that's being made with Mikey Vegas and Trap Kitchen.
Is Mikey rapping after 42?
Yes, he is. He just dropped the album.
Yeah, man, I love that.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah. You get...
yeah, man, you're next up, bro. Man, it's a thing.
You got to, man. Like it's like basketball. I tell people it's like basketball. Like if you came up, not even basketball, but sports in general, you came up playing sports, you have to give back to the youth. You know what I'm saying? So like when everybody say, "Oh, rapping is a young man sport," no, it's really not, because the young man gets used, but the wiser you get, you have to drop those jewels and pay it forward.
Also, I'll be honest with you, man. Black people, sometimes, man, we be looking at things just wild, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because so somebody like Cher isn't like old school. Right. Somebody like, you know, Aerosmith isn't old school. What's his name who just, you know, the British guy? He's had all these songs. I mean, there's so many. When you look at different genres, especially like, you know, predominantly white genres, no one is calling them old school at all. No one's saying whatever. Only us. If Whitney Houston was still alive, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's an old school tour, Whitney Houston." And it's like, man, we be putting this expiration date on our art and on our people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Other people, man, other genres, man, guys just keep doing dope stuff. You know, these guys be in their 60s, 70s world tour stadiums because they're not packaged into a box.
Right.
But in where we're at, you know what I'm saying? I mean, man, after 5 years, you're like old school or something.
Yeah, 100%. And like it even goes into the world of DJing, bro. Like James Hype and those guys, man, them guys are old guys. You know what I'm saying? 50, 40 plus, 50. You know what I mean? Still doing it. World tours, like you're saying. And them is DJs.
Yeah, it's wild. Keeping it back here into the trap. See, now we got to go back to the trap. We're back in the hood right now. Man, you were actually there a few weeks ago, and we're going to cue this up. This is the Trap Kitchen, the East grand opening.
Today is the grand opening of Trap Kitchen the East. It's been a project many years in the making. We completely built out the restaurant, all new branding, all new marketing, all new experience. Having something like this in the middle of Portland and the Central East Side is huge for our community and our people.
In Portland, we don't have a lot of like Black-owned spots where we can come, we can enjoy ourselves, have an upscale experience. We kicked off this culinary scene when we brought the food truck up here. And we've been the pioneers and like, you know, taking it from out the kitchen to the streets to around the world.
Having a spot where Black people could come, where it's for us, by us, And it's our type of vibe. We got slow jams playing, and just being able to look around and see us makes us feel accepted, makes us feel seen and feel heard.
Been here for 16 years. Started Trap Kitchen from LA and Portland simultaneously back in 2013. You know what I'm saying? And the full circle right now, man.
We're just always trying to evolve, always trying to elevate. You know, we don't want to stay at the same place. We're not trying to stay stagnant. Started out the kitchen in our grandma's house to, you know, open up one food truck, and that led to 5 or 6 food trucks. We mastered that, and then we went into like concert venue spaces, mastered that, and we're like, man, it's time to open up real deal brick and mortar, something like next level, you know?
I see in his story a sense of resilience. I'm not a person that gives up easily at all. I don't take no for an answer. So that's something that resonated with me about his story.
Brutal, lots of long nights, lots of meals skipped, sleep sacrifice, family time missed, but it's what's required when you're building something like this. It's the cost of greatness.
Man, there were so many ups and downs. This is 2 years in the making. Like, we had to step back and close down our other locations so we could really dial in and give people a real experience. We want people to come experience something like none other before. And when people walk into the space, you can see it in their eyes, like, you know, like, dang, this was worth the wait. This is worth it, you know?
The atmosphere is very upscale, very, I want to say, very pristine. I like the setting of it all. It's inviting, and it makes you feel comfortable, like you're really eating at upscale establishment, being able to wear my best fit and I don't feel out of place. And I feel like I can come here and not only enjoy great food and drinks, but really dress up and have a great night.
This is curated with a lot of love, a lot of people being selfless, and, you know, just putting their best foot forward so that we can really give Portland something they ain't had before.
We're building something right now, and I appreciate all my staff. From the dishwashers to the servers, to the bartenders, to the cooks, to the sous chef, to the owners, to the hosts. It's a machine. Everything works good. We just need to figure out what is gonna get us to the finish line faster, you know? And make this thing a legacy, which it already is.
And to have these in every major city that you can think of. You want to take this and take it back to LA. Take this same concept, take it to Miami, take it to Atlanta, take it to New York. That's what we're trying to do. Take this concept and take it around the world.
Like that. It said take it around the world. Man, so like Portland now has the best trap kitchen, right, in America, because there's a few different situations, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Oh, yeah, man, it looks fresh. I'm trying to see how I can get down there on Saturday.
Right. Yeah, I haven't been to the one in LA, but I know.
I mean, I think this might be, I don't know, it might be stunting on it. We gotta figure it out.
We got the East.
Yeah, are you around on Saturday in Portland?
Saturday, I'm DJing a wedding. Saturday, I'm out in Silver Falls.
Oh, it's cool. I mean, I'll double up my portions for you, man.
100, appreciate it.
Nah, well, so look, man, I appreciate you. And before we get out of it, before I let you go, so after I let you go, then Justin Fogarty from Talk a Mile is going to come and talk about that organization and some more about the work that's happening here that you guys are up here for today and overall in the group. But what I do want you to do, well, first of all, before I do that, again, I want to give you your flowers, brother. Because, you know, man, we've come a long way together. And,
yes,
and
we
big
have.
shout out to Cool Nuts,
Yep.
who actually introduced us, man. And man, we've been working with Juma for like 3 years now. And your work just continues to get better and better and better. Just a reminder for people, like so much of the stuff that you see that comes out of Portland, and there's a lot of stuff that's actually coming out in the next few days, that you are the guy behind that. And even more than that, man, you're always supportive every time we're down there in Portland.
Appreciate it. And then on the flip side of that, it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? Like, my very first job with y'all, it was botched.
I didn't want to bring that up.
It was botched. And you know what I'm saying? You was like, you know what, man? I'm not even worried about what it looks like. You show up, you do the work, you on time, you know what I'm saying, you professional. I'd rather curate the relationship, you know what I'm saying? And that always stuck with me, and I truly appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, giving me that opportunity to grow in that space, to grow in this space.
Man, that's man, thank you. That's dope that you brought that up. I tell people all the time that I'm like, man, I'd rather work with somebody who don't know nothing about video, but man, they believe in being excellent and showing up on time and, you know what I'm saying, giving their best effort and everything else. And we can develop skills, but man, you can't teach somebody to want to be great. You can't teach somebody to want to just wake up and be excellent. And so you definitely have those characteristics, my friend. There's the camera right there with the teleprompter. Why don't you go ahead and look into it and tell people how they can keep up with you?
You can keep up with me at JUMABLAQ on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the good stuff. Also, The Wealthy, that's THEWEA or WHEA. THLEY or THLY PDX. Follow me. We have the Wealthy Walks every Saturday in Portland, starting at 9 a.m., different locations. The first location, first Saturday of the month, we're at the low end. Second Saturday, we do a neighborhood walk. Third Saturday, we do Glendevere Trail. And then the fourth Saturday, we're at Vancouver, right here on the Washington side at the Vancouver waterfront. So.
Yeah, the Wealthy Walk. Juma Blaq, thank you for joining me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're chopping it up with Justin Fogarty from Talkamau. You're watching The Pop-Up.
What's up, Seattle? It's your boy Cuddy here, tapping in just to let you know that no matter where the place to be, King County Metro will get you to where you need. It could be a ride to the airport, whether you're taking off or touching down, King County Metro, or a game. So save yourself time with traffic and get into places like Westlake Center, Pike Place Market, or even the waterfront. Rather by light rail or bus, choose King County Metro. It's the only way to go.
Hey, come on in. So what brings you in today?
He think he know me.
A man can't make a sandwich.
He makes me sick.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Just talking.
Me, my family, my dreams, all of it.
Acts on Stage presents the world premiere of Black Man Goes to Therapy. Running May 21st through 31st, this interweaving stage play tells of a reluctant wanderer's encounter with a therapist who's seen better days. Black Man Goes to Therapy is written by Jeremy Rubin and features Ariel Davis, Joshua Webb, Carl Covington, Courtney Williams, Franklin Johnson, Zakiya Carter, and Jeffrey L. Cheatham II, with direction by Isaiah Anderson Jr. This profoundly moving theatrical therapy session is an unmissable experience where the unapologetic hope is healing. Tickets available now at actsonstage.com.
All right, welcome back to The Pop-Up. I'm your host, Omari Salisbury, a.k.a. The Big O, coming to you live from downtown Seattle right here in the Black Media Matters studio. Man, today is all about Portland. We are Portland fam in the building, representing. And right now, joining us on the set is Justin Fogarty from Talkamau. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for letting me be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
No, it's all good. So on this thing, it didn't give me no title or anything. I don't know if you're into titles, but...
I'm the executive director, but I'm actually one of the co-founders of the
organization. Oh, and co-founder, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's good stuff. So it's a great opportunity right here. Juma kind of gave us a glimpse, and I'm sure you'll tell us more. But before that, man, tell us what exactly is Talkamau?
Yeah, so Talkamau, we created this organization trying to elevate the voices of young leaders in conversation about policing and public safety and community. So basically what our work does is brings youth together and then brings in invited elected officials, law enforcement, oftentimes even police trainees, educators, civic leaders, other youth-serving nonprofits and things. But basically we pair them up and they walk and talk together, having one-on-one conversations for a mile.
What was the catalyst for this? One, the idea, the concept of how do we get young people and civic leaders engaged, but then also the walking part.
Yeah. The catalyst was 2020. Coming out of that summer, my wife Erica's Black, our son Liam, all 6'5" of him, is a big biracial kid, and at that time, after George Floyd's murder, he was a high school student. And in Portland, it felt like there were a lot of conversations happening about policing, but way too many of them were happening without young people being involved. And we felt like there was an opportunity for young people to speak for themselves in these conversations, rather than relying on old folks that look like me to speak for them. So we just felt like there was an opportunity. Liam, my son, at the time he was a treasurer of the BSU at his high school, set up a meeting with the rest of their student leaders, and they actually helped us co-design the program. Most important, though, they wanted to participate. They were eager to be part of these conversations that were too often happening about them, but without them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole saying, nothing about me without me, right? How receptive were civic leaders there in Portland when you guys first launched this?
Yeah, so we were able to navigate our way into the police bureau. We started, honestly, with just a focus on trying to connect Black students with local police trainees. So we found our way into Portland Police Bureau's training division, had a conversation with them that was similar to what we had with the students. Here's our idea, walking and talking together, trying to build some bridges, trying to build some humanity, understanding and everything. And they were actually really receptive to it from the start. So our program got off the ground with that, and it wasn't long before Latino student unions were coming to us saying they wanted to be involved, groups of student athletes, mentoring programs and things coming also and saying they wanted to be part of these conversations. So pretty quickly we had a lot more students than we were going to have police trainees, and started thinking, who else would these young people benefit by having conversations with? So we started thinking elected officials, civic leaders, other people that serve youth in mentoring programs or jobs programs with Parks and Rec, or educators too, so students feel like they've got more agency, more connection within their school building.
Wow, fantastic. And so what now is like the size or scope of your organization?
Yeah, we actually just hit 1,000 participants 2 weeks ago.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Our first program was 4 years ago last month, and we hit 1,000 people as of about 2 weeks ago. So today's program probably puts us at about 1,050 or 1,060. And that's 4 years of programs. It's actually, in Portland, it's every new officer in the Portland Police Bureau in the last 4 years has been through Talk a Mile as part of their training.
So let's talk about both sides of what people take away from this. I know one, in our community, one big takeaway is whenever our young people can actually feel that they were heard. And I think that's in most communities, when they're being heard by someone who's in authority, whether it's police, elected officials, appointed officials, and things like that. But what do officers there in the Portland Police Bureau, or what are elected officials there in Portland and other places, and we'll talk about Seattle here in a minute, what's their takeaway?
Right from the start with the trainees, they were saying it was the most impactful part of their training. Oftentimes, think about the way that any training for probably any job works out there. It's a lot like classrooms we remember from high school, right? Where you're sitting there, there's a sage on the stage at the front of the room, they're telling you stuff, hopefully you're absorbing some of it, you got a little bit of time for Q&A, or maybe every once in a while you got a guest speaker, and then 3 or 4 people from the room can raise their hands and ask a question. But you don't really get to have a back and forth, you don't really get to have a dialogue. And for anybody that's going into this work is going to have to engage with young people, it's kind of eye-opening for them to have these conversations. And one, they just sometimes the reflections from some folks in law enforcement or elected officials is, I was kind of out of practice at talking with young people. So that's a really good reflection for somebody to have when they're going to go into a job where they're going to have to work in our community, right? But for them to just have those abilities to have those reps, I think is important. But also they come away with a different understanding of who young people are. The narratives about young people are not positive right now, right? It's that they're attached to their screens, they don't really care, they're disengaged, they don't, all the things that we know that people kind of assume about young people. But when you have a conversation with a high school kid these days, it's not like that. You know, you end up having these deep conversations. You understand, like, they're actually really engaged. They really do want to do something better in this community. They want to better themselves. They want to better everything around them. They're just looking for opportunities. And we just weren't giving them many of those in the community, right? We just don't have enough opportunities for young people to shine like that.
Mm. Well, especially now, talking about the police and police recruits, are you finding that the recruits and the young people were able to see the parts of themselves in each other?
Definitely. One of the questions we ask, so after the program, we always ask for people to reflect and then share some of their reflections in a survey. And one of the questions that we ask is, what did you learn about the person you walked and talked with? Did anything surprise you? And for young and old, the surprise is usually how much they had in common, or how much they saw something the same, or how much they had a connection to a neighborhood or a place or people, finding out they had the same football coach. There's all sorts of things like that that do come up. Just these little common things that people have, you know, that they can share together. And that's something to build off of, right? At least you've got some level of somewhere that you've made this connection. Now what?
Right, and now you guys have taken it from the Rose City here to the Emerald City. Tell us about what brought you here to Seattle today.
Yeah, we were really fortunate. We eyed Seattle for a long time. You know, obviously, city just up the road, similar in a lot of ways to Portland. We wanted to bring the work here. But a real catalyst for it was when we got introduced to the Seattle Seahawks, to their community engagement team, through a connection that we have down in Portland, a guy named Marcel Frazier, who works in the Office of Violence Prevention in the city of Gresham. Anyway, he had a good connection, introduced us to some folks at the Seahawks. It turned out they had actually been planning something kind of along the same lines. They, you know, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. They had actually wanted to launch this program called the Hawk Walks. And as soon as we got connected with them and started to understand what they were trying to do and what our work does, it was just an obvious partnership. So Seattle Seahawks were a huge help in us getting up here. We had great engagement from Seattle PD. But one of the huge things that I think really turned the tide was getting introduced to some student groups. So the city actually runs a program for youth safety ambassadors.
Yeah, the
YSAs, right?
Yeah,
so
we work with the YSAs.
Oh, great. Yeah, a bunch of the YSAs participated in the program today. And they were a huge help with us recruiting other students to participate too.
Yeah, what do you think of the City of Seattle's YSA program?
Seems like a great program. I mean, it seemed like you could imagine there could be programs like that would sort of just be set up to check a box or put a little photo op together or something, but those students seem really engaged. I know they're from a few different high schools too. They meet regularly. They've got a lot that they're trying to do. I've been really impressed with the student leaders that we've met here.
Man, that's a big, you know, some of the YSAs, this is a good run, walk. This walk was a good test run for them, because I know some of the YSAs are getting ready to have some pretty intense and one-on-one conversations with our mayor and with our police chief and everything else.
Excellent.
So this was a good thing. So do you look to come back here to the Emerald City?
Yeah, we'll be back. Actually, we're running it back with the same cohort of people in 2 weeks. And then the plan for the Hawk Walks is actually to have one every month for the next 6 months. So yeah, we'll be back.
Man, what most, you know, I look at you and you're like almost giddy, you know what I'm saying? what excites, in the best way, right? What excites you the most about this work that you're doing? I mean, you know, like your son was in high school at the time. Clearly, he's no longer in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What keeps you like, hey, this is great? What are some of the things you and maybe if you speak on behalf of your wife, who's not here tonight, but your co-founder?
Yeah, I'd say it's a couple things. I've spent most of my career in marketing and communications for a lot of startups and different kind of tech companies and stuff where, you know, you're doing interesting work, but it's not as meaningful of work. So just being able to apply some of our skills or stubbornness or whatever it is that helps get an organization off the ground that's been exciting to us, is just to build something from the ground up that was our idea, hatched quite honestly around a kitchen table during a pandemic. So you never know how good that idea is until you take it out into the world. But seeing that it has been an idea that's gotten a good bit of traction, got a lot of people that are really happy to participate, got a ton of students that want to come back every opportunity that they get. The thing that just fuels me though is it is seeing the people out there actually have these human connections. It's kind of amazing when you do watch what happens during the course of the people walking a mile, because, you know, I've honestly, the police chiefs are as nervous sometimes as students are to participate in these conversations. But after a lap or two, you see everybody's shoulders kind of drop. You see them starting to smile more. You see them really engaged with each other, and that's a huge amount of fuel. But I think the other thing for me too is just meeting so many good people and good organizations, trying to do good work and just trying to figure out how to make it happen. And it's definitely in Portland, and we're really excited to meet more people up here doing good things here in Seattle.
Good stuff. Well, man, this is fantastic. I was unaware of your organization until today. I'm very happy to learn about it. I'm really happy to learn that you guys are working with the YSAs here in Seattle. It's a great group of young people who are really focused and committed to their work. I want you to do this for me. There's the camera right there with all the glass on it. Yep. Go ahead and look in there and tell people how they can keep up with you.
You can keep up with us by following @TalkAMile on Instagram or LinkedIn. If you want to find me, I'm at Justasio on Instagram, or you can also find me at Justin Fogarty on LinkedIn.
There it is. Well, Justin, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out and for stopping by the Black Media Matters studio. You get to sign the wall, by the way.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? You're legendary now. And, man, feel free to pop in here anytime. Keep us updated on your work.
Absolutely. Thanks again for the opportunity. Appreciate being here. And love to get you out for a walk sometime, too.
I need it.
Let's get it.
That being said, hey, look, we're gonna wrap it up here this evening. Again, a big thanks to our guests, Justin Fogarty and Juma Blaq, because he's rapping after 40 and calligraphy's next. But we got a great show lined up for you tomorrow night as well. We got some surprise guests for you on the way. Once again, appreciate all your support, all your love. Until tomorrow night at 9 a.m. ish. Peace.